Hello, friends. Kendra here, or should I say tired Kendra here. I had a late night last night. I simply wanted to talk about your own psychic hygiene and how important it is if you're someone who has abilities and is practicing accessing the gateways and actually utilizing divination as a practice alongside your own empathic or psychic abilities. What I have to say here is very, very simple, and I've mentored others as well in this topic. If you have latent abilities or you have things that are coming to the surface and you've been using tarot cards, oracle cards, tea leaves, runes, gazing crystal balls, or anything of the sort, dream time, even if you have abilities like that as well, your own psychic hygiene is so important when it comes to reading for other people or having connections with other people. And here's why. Every time that you connect to someone and you read, or you connect and make a new connection, whether it's a friend, a family member, or it's just a client or someone you're trying to help, someone you meet on the street that was an acquaintance that becomes a friend. If you have psychic abilities or empathic abilities, you start to create a web that can get quite large. It can get pretty big. And what happens is your own ability to discern between yourself and the other people that you've created in this web that you have can get muddied. It can get very muddied by your own wants and desires and theirs. And you can create an empathic bond emotionally with someone thousands of miles away. Why I'm talking about this is something called what I would call a psychic echo or a feedback loop. Okay, this can happen if you are highly psychic and you've actually connected with someone who may be able to pick up on your thoughts, or if you have some sort of contract with them or a soul bind of some kind. Say, for example, you have created a connection with someone. You're psychic like me. You start thinking about that person, and then suddenly they start thinking about you. It doesn't matter where they are. And then you have done what I would call an activation of the connection. And now you have honed in on this person psychically. This can also happen empathically. This can happen with your emotions. You could start feeling them physically, because there's various different ways of having psychic abilities, okay? Everybody has something different if they have latent abilities like this. You will start even feeling things in your body that you're not quite sure you can discern. So if you have been mentored by me, you'll eventually come to the understanding of the difference between discernment and enmeshing, okay? Enmeshing yourself. And if you're a person who has psychic abilities, you may have experienced enmeshment when you grew up, the way you grew up as a child. And it's important to heal this part of yourself, or get in touch with this part of yourself, or create such a great discernment that you know the difference between your psychic impressions and another person, okay? So it's so important. And it's not just about saging your cards or laying them out and cleaning them. While taking care of your tools is important, the person using the tools is 1,000 times more important, because you've got to be able to have a clear channel with access to the gate, not only the gateways, okay, but also to source higher force. If you're like myself and you have a connection to the higher force and being able to feel that energy, like if you have active energy centers, I have a very active heart center, okay? And this is where I get a lot of my empathic abilities and hits from when I'm doing my readings. And people go, how do you know that? How did you know that? When I do private readings, that's why it is so important that if you watch it, if someone is watching you and you're a tarot reader online, that they book a private with you. Because otherwise you are picking up on so many impressions that you could be hitting. It's like a ripple, in the water. It's a ripple. You're only going to be able, once you hit one, now imagine you have 2 or 3 rocks thrown into the water, right? So you're getting a lot more ripples and you're only hitting certain ones. That's why tarot readers or anyone practicing the art of divination in whatever form, it is so important that you can be able to tell the difference between self and the external, okay? And someone else or other energies or spirit energies, okay? So that's what I wanted to talk about. And that's pretty much where I wanted to hit this, is that echoes or feedback loops are very, very possible. Possible. Don't know how I said that. But they're very possible, okay? And if you're psychic like me, and you easily get imagery or feelings, or you can transfer thought, or you can hear people's thought, or anything of the sort, your hygiene in the web that you've weaved when it comes to energy has to be cleansed. Okay, you have to figure out on a regular basis which ones are not you and which ones are you. Because the more that you connect to, and I've read for hundreds of people, hundreds, discernment is so important. It really is. And you have to take care of yourself. You've got to make sure that this is why I call it a web. Okay, that you're weaving. It's a very fine thing. And the more you have connections coming into you, that you got to make sure who you're reading for. What is their psychic hygiene? Do you know it? Can you tell the difference between yours and theirs? Right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm thinking about writing a whole ebook or something on this. I don't know if that's something you guys are interested in. That's what I wanted to talk about. See you later.